Here we go. And the sound is still on. All right. Hopefully it'll turn the sound off, bro. How are we in the next one? Make sure you're in the Discord. I'm going to put the link in the Discord. That's where all the links for the drafts are going to go. That's where they go. All right. So hopefully, like I said, I got let me go live on here. I meant to do that. I got the draft guide coming out, man. It's gonna be 40 pages, literally 40 pages of like dope ass information. So hopefully y'all ready for it. Hopefully y'all are ready for it, man. Mahomes slipped all the way down here to me. All right, we can rock with Mahomes. And ooh, I kind of want to take St. Brown here. Yeah, we're gonna go St. Brown here, bro. I didn't even check the settings to make sure all the settings were right, but hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. What's up? What's up, y'all? TikTok, what's good? What's good? We're gonna be doing another draft here shortly. Yeah, keep the questions coming in too, but the draft guide, I'll go over what's in the draft guide real quick. If y'all are y'all ready for the draft guide or no? If y'all don't want the draft guide, I won't talk about it. But y'all want to know what's in the draft guide or not? Let me know if y'all want to know what's in the draft guide. What's popping? TikTok was good. Was good. We mock drafting right now. I'm mock drafting from the 10 spot. I got in a Superflex league, I got Mahomes and I got St. Brown. Wait, brother, please tell me 2 to 3 players, season-long props you like. Yo, what's good? I got props all day in my dub my dub club, man. I've been supporting you for about 2 years. I got a lot of them in my dub club, bruh. So I appreciate the support. I'll drop a post on that. I'll give you 2 right now just because I'm a nice dude. You know what I'm saying? Let me get 2. I got 2 lined up for you. All right, my dude, I got you. Yeah, check out the dub club. Dub club. The price is going up, though. I'll tell you that. Price continues to go up. I ain't gonna hold you. I wish I could keep it low, but it's gonna have to go up because yeah. All right, I'll give you a couple freebies right now. One of them I like is some that I like on FanDuel Sportsbook right now. I like Trevor Lawrence over 4,000 yards, Kirk Cousins over 4,000 yards, Baker Mayfield or over 4,000 yards. Like if you pair them together, I want to say it was I can't remember the exact. It was like plus something, a really good if you like parlays. And then if you're just looking for some singles, some single bet season long plays, I got Zamir White over 4.5 touchdowns. I like Geno over 3,400 passing yards, and then JSN over 775 passing yards. All right. So there's a few freebies for you. But yeah, if you want like details and everything else, it's all on the Dub Club, bro. Dub Club is gonna have, especially for bets this year, we're gonna make some bread. I swear, last time we did Superflex, you were throwing shade on early quarterback picks, and you went Mahomes round 1. I tried different stuff, my man. So these are mock drafts, right? So a lot of times I'm testing my own theories out too. So I took Mahomes, the value was there at the back end of this round, and I think I took early because I was trying to see what my team looked like. I think I even said that during the last mock draft. So I don't like early quarterbacks typically, but sometimes I like to go through here and see what my team would look like as well. You know what I mean? A lot of times, this isn't my real league. And this is also, we've been talking strategy. I've already done drafts in Superflex where I've avoided quarterbacks. So, all right, let's see. I'll check it out. Appreciate you. Would you trade Saquon, Baker, Mayfield, and Polk for James Conner, Anthony Richardson, and Rice? Yeah, I would get the Anthony Richardson side. First non-quarterback in Superflex, Bijan Robinson. I like Caleb, but I think Caleb has a little bit of time before he gets there. Even if Canales can work his magic, what's Bryce Young's ceiling? I think his ceiling's like top 15. Think about it. Like he was the number 1 pick overall for a reason last year over CJ Stroud, who played well. But I think we also forget, like he got 2 new weapons this offseason. Got Deontay Johnson. They went and drafted Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette from the Carolina Panthers. You got that lingo, man. But there's weapons around Bryce Young now. And when you got an offensive-minded head coach who's trying to make the game easier, he finished his QB 23 last year. I think a top 15 return would be like optimistic, but that is like the ceiling. I think he could be a top 15 guy. So I'm not saying he's automatically there by any means, but can he be there? Absolutely he can. Absolutely he can. Let's get Josh Jacobs and let's grab. I'm gonna grab Mike, my boy Mike. I'm gonna be taking all the ones you said. Let's get it. Bro, he doesn't need fixing the team around it. They address the team. They address the team. That's what I'm like with Bryce Young. I'm happy they addressed the team, man. That was the perfect thing for them to do. Yo, Jahan, you watched that video on the Discord? I did not watch that video. I don't really watch a whole lot of other creators, to be honest with you. I just saw the thumbnail, and I don't really have time to sit there and watch. Like, I gotta make content. I don't always have time to like. Today I didn't, at least. I'll probably try to sit there and watch it at some point, but I didn't have time today so far. What was your mindset in picking Patty and not getting another position player? All right, you answered my question. Yeah, the value was there. Yes. So, like I said, especially in mock drafts, I'm willing to test out value. Like, if I can get Mahomes, who has elite upside here in the back end of the first, maybe it is only a 10-team league, and I should have remembered that too. Like, it's only 10 teams. I might have been able to wait on quarterbacks later, but I still think I'm getting pretty good value right now. Thoughts on A.D. Mitchell? That was my second rounder rookie selection. I think he has good deep ball upside, and in standard leagues, he's probably a little bit more applicable, but I think we're going to have to wait to see him with Pittman already ahead of him. Josh Downs, another year in the offense too, so I like him, but I don't know if he's fantasy relevant this season. Garrett Wilson, Javonte, Jahan Dotson, Dobbs, and a first. I don't know what that meant. First year playing Dynasty, any advice? Have fun. Try to win this year. Everybody tries to win for 5 years out in Dynasty. Just try to win your league this year in the next 2 to 3 seasons. So win your league in the next 2 to 3 seasons. Rebuilds don't take as long as people think. Everybody always thinks rebuilds take like years. They don't take that long. Rebuilds can take like 1 year and you'll be fine. CD extension. Did he get it? Did CD get that extension? I didn't see it. Ken Griffey double? Call me Ken Griffey, my man. Hey, I'll take it, man. Whatever. Amon-Ra, he's a GOAT baseball player outside of Barry. It goes Barry and Ken Griffey Jr. Those are my two favorite. Amon-Ra or Chase. I also, you know who else I get when I have my beard in? I get Brandon Phillips a lot. Amon-Ra or Chase at pick 5. I like St. Brown a little bit more than Chase this year. Would you rather draft St. Brown or Bijan at the 105? Give me Bijan. You think Pickens can be what DJ Moore was last year? Yeah. I think Pickens is in for a hell of a year. I talked about it. If you don't follow my page, follow. I got a ton of takes already. One of them on George Pickens. I think he's going to be up there. We also upgraded our O-line for Bryce. Yes. The whole system is way better out there. Speaking of Bryce Young, Jahan Q was good, bro. He said, Jahan, how you feel about Deontay Johnson this year? Listen, everybody can be excited about Deontay Johnson and the fact that Canales has said, he's going to be the wide receiver 1, but he's got to catch the football and he's got to stay healthy. Like every single time Deontay Johnson steps on the field, it feels like he has a bad drop or two, and it always feels like he's like going down, getting hit really hard because of his size. He's only 5'10". So I think Deontay Johnson is fine where he's going, but is he going to be a red zone guy? No. Is he going to be maybe he gets up there and catches, but I still think he's going to be like 1,000-yard guy unless Bryce Young just takes like this tremendous step. Well, I expect Bryce Young to be better, but is he going to be a 4,000-yard guy for sure? And if he's not a 4,000-yard guy for sure, then we got to temper our expectations with all the receivers. Thielen is still there. Excuse me. You have second-round pick Jonathan Mingo still there. Xavier Legette was drafted in the second round this year, top of the second round this year. They went to go get him. Like, there's just a lot. It was the last pick of the first round, or was it top of the second? It was top of the second round. They went and got him. So I think that, when you think about the receiving core that's there, they drafted a running back in the second round, a complimented Jonathan Brooks, who's going to be a little bit better this year as well, like after he gets going. So I like the offensive pieces they put around Bryce Young. It's just a matter of Deontay Johnson, like how big is the ceiling? Like if you told me 1,005, I think that'd be a really good year for Deontay Johnson, like a bounce back type year, So just what are your expectations? I think he's more wide receiver 4 land. Wide receiver 4 land. Panthers fans, what's good? McLaurin or Kirk? I don't mind either one. Give me Christian Kirk. I don't actually. I like Terry a little bit better. I've always liked Terry a little bit better. Rank AFC South. AFC South, I got Jacksonville winning it. I think Houston gets second. I think the Colts and Titans are probably tied for third, fourth. I think they're both going to be like, I would go Colts over Titans slightly. But I think Titans can be good. I really do. I really do, man. I really do. All right, so far in this draft, I got Mahomes, St. Brown, Jacobs, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, and Pickens. I like my receiving core. I'm going to probably be looking at running back here, loading up on running backs. So just have a strong running back too. But I feel good about the depth with 3 receivers and a flex that we're starting right now. Did I pick AR-15 too early? I thought I needed a quarterback, so I went with him over Joe Burrow. No, that's really good value on Anthony Richardson, I think. He's going in that range. So if that's the quarterback you wanted, take him. And I got Anthony Richardson ranked higher than Burrow anyway. Got my first pick in my league, and I like Bijan, but I can't pull a trigger on him at 101. I got to go CMC. Listen, that's a whole risk tolerance thing, right? Because if Bijan is a flop, you're going to hate yourself. But I think if Bijan hits, you're going to be very happy. So I'm not mad at that. Ronald, what's good? He said that man P still scared to hop back in the drafts. You got to make sure that mustache is lined up properly. I got to talk to P, man. We haven't drafted in a while. He's been busy with work, so he's got some good. He's got some shit in motion, man. I ain't mad at him. I think I might have picked McBride too early. Yeah, but you got your guy. Obviously, tight ends will fall a little bit more in 10-team leagues. So remember, this is a 10-team league, not a 12-team league. All right. I'm in raw Jettas of Saquon and half-point PPR. Give me Saquon. Bengals fans in the house. What's good? What's good, Bengals fans? Go Jags. I ain't mad at the Jags. Jaden or Kyler? Give me Kyler. Start Terry McLaurin. I'm cool with that. Can you do another 10-team mock? Yeah, I could do another 10-teamer. If that's what y'all want, that's what the people want. We could do it, JR. Panthers prediction. So I think the Panthers, they will still have their struggles. I think they'll look a lot better offensively. I think the division is going to be somewhat attainable at all times, but I still think the Bucks and I think the Falcons are better teams. I think the Saints are more comparable. If they went 7-10, it wouldn't surprise me. I think that's like their highest 7-10, but I got to look at their schedule. It's probably more closer to like 6-11, but what do you rank Kupp? He's in my top 15. Cooper Kupp's in my top 15. Who do you like better, Zach Moss or Chase Brown? And I'll rate these teams when we're done too. I'll rate these teams just so you guys know. Who do you like better, Zach Moss or Chase Brown? Listen, I think Zach Moss has been and still will be the safest option out of that backfield. But I think just Chase Brown has way more upside. And the fact that Chase Brown is being used a lot with the first team has me looking at it a little bit harder, right? I was thinking it was more of a balance. Like you either take the guy with upside, maybe he gets 8 to 10 touches, maybe he gets 15 with Chase Brown. But you take the sure thing in Zach Moss with 12 carries to 15 carries, red zone work, etc. But there's been the reports that Chase Brown's been taking a lot of the first team reps. So if they like him that much and they're giving him first team reps, to me, that is a little bit like, all right, I got to pay closer attention to that. So I might be moving Chase Brown up my rankings if this continues. It also could be a thing where Chase Brown just knows the offense better than Zach Moss. So it's a situation to monitor. In training camp, I always we monitor. We don't overreact because training camp right now, there's no pads. There hasn't been any injuries yet. And a lot of people will go off of everything they see on training camp. They'll see a viral clip. Oh, this player is getting open at will. This player has been running it up. Like all that shit. This player has been dropping passes. We tend to overreact to training camp news as opposed to like just using it to like slightly adjust things as needed. Things change. Narratives change. Things change as the offseason goes along. Appreciate all the new follows, guys. Appreciate y'all. 7-10 is such a win, but yeah, our schedule's hard. Yeah, I got to look at the schedule. That'd be dope, though. Thoughts on Brian Robinson? I'm kind of concerned about Brian Robinson just being like a meh guy. I really think Austin Eckler can have a little bit more of an impact. So I still think he's there right around like the RB3 land, but he might be like one of those touchdown dependent guys. Bengals have a new OC or not? Yes. Mark Andrews or Trey McBride? I go Trey McBride. Panthers could have drafted Parsons and Strouds. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. They may not have been who they are either now. Thoughts on Kyren Williams? I think Kyren has a little bit of risk just with Blake Corum there in the backfield, but I think early on it's still going to be the Kyren Williams show, and he'll probably look like a really good value coming out the gate. My only concern is, like I said, Blake Corum, if anything were to happen injury-wise, because Kyron's a little smaller, or if Blake Corum just comes out and shows out. So I think initially it'll be Kyren Williams show, and I think he's just going to be a high-risk player for the rest of the season for Blake Corum to take touches, like any given week. It is my turn to pick. So far, I got Mahomes, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, George Pickens. I'm take a look at these running backs. Ramondre's still here. I almost took him last round. And then Malik Neighbors, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, top quarterback Herbert. I'm going with quarterbacks right now. Let me just get Najee too while I'm at it. So far I got Mahomes, St. Brown, Jacobs, Evans, Devontae Smith, George Pickens, Ramondre Stevenson, and Najee Harris. How y'all feel about that so far? Where can I hop in a real draft with you this season, OG? Well, I posted one for YouTube members already. It's only going to be for members, subscribers, and people on Dub Club for now. So I might do like a community league too. Me and Tyler Health might do one. I might do just one just for regular, like enter to win type thing. So there will be opportunities, but for members, subscribers, and people who supported me are going to get the first chance this year. I've already dropped the link for TikTok subscribers. TikTok subscribers already have access to it. I posted it already. And then YouTube members we already filled up a league with YouTube members. So that will be how, if you want to join it with me this year in a season, in a real league, it's got to be one of those. Can you describe what Canales did for Geno and Baker and would that translate to Young? I obviously think it will. It's just making things easier, right? Making your reads easier and going through progression. So I think that's why everybody gets excited about Dave Canales. He's the quarterback whisperer. So yeah, he's gonna do wonders for Bryce Young. Will it happen immediately? Who knows? Will it happen at an elite level? Who knows? But that's the kind of coach you want around a former number one pick. That's exactly what you want. Steelers offense, Arthur Smith, man. Don't be too mad on Arthur Smith. You do another mock? Yes. Can you do a Superflex video? Yes. I will do a video on Superflex and how to address it. Because I think there's a lot of bad narratives about Superflex. I would have got Reed over Najee all day. I'm not mad at that, but I also wanted to secure who I thought was one of the last elite running backs before coming back around to me. So, I'm not elite, excuse me. Let me watch my terminology. One of the last really good starting running backs, like locked in starting running backs beforehand. But I don't mind taking Jaden Reed there. I think Jaden Reed or another receiver will come back to me anyway. Start bench cut Garrett Puka, Saquon, Garrett Puka, and half point PPR. That's the order. Never got the Zeke hype. I actually saw some interesting stuff today. Stephen Jones, the VP for the Dallas Cowboys, actually came out today and said Royce Freeman was a big part of their offseason plan, and they were surprised he was out there. We've seen Royce Freeman start before. We've seen Royce Freeman be productive. Do I think Royce Freeman's going to be for our fantasy teams good? No. But they're talking about using him as the backup, and then Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and their other Malik Davis all fighting for touches after those two. So that was an interesting note that Stephen Jones said. It's almost like they feel like their two-headed monster is Zeke and Royce Freeman. So maybe Rico Dowdle's the wrong guy. Ridley or Pickens, struggling with these two. I think ceiling is probably Pickens. I think safer is probably Ridley. Glad to see you back before the season kicks off. You already know. Thanks for all the info. I got you. Bryce ain't the problem. I think we're starting to figure that out. What was your best and worst take last season? I had a lot of really good takes. I had some bad takes. I would say some of my best takes were like Trey McBride and Sam Laporta being elite. I called those earlier in the offseason at tight end. I also said Rachaad White would be a value at his pick. Alvin Kamara, Mike Evans, same thing. I said to fade Calvin Ridley, to fade Tony Pollard when everybody else said to draft him. I would say some of my worst takes were like Travis Etienne saying not to fade him in the fourth round. And for a good majority of the season, he was a top 5 running back. When Puka Nacua came on the scene, I was kind of like, just trade him and go get Cooper Kupp, or trade him and go get another elite piece. Same thing with Kyron Williams. Those both flopped. I would also say another player, I thought Kadarius Toney with the Chiefs was going to be much better last year. I had him as like a top 30 to 35 guy. That didn't happen. So, I mean, I'm full of, I would say I have a lot of really good takes, and my reasoning a lot of time is very stout. I do my homework, but I got misses, bro. It happens. I definitely during the season, like start and sits. I'm not perfect when it comes to starts and sits either, but I think I do pretty damn well. Jay, who's a guy you think gonna surprise a lot of people? I think Austin Eckler. I just actually dropped a post about that on TikTok. I think Austin Eckler is gonna surprise a lot of people. I think Austin Eckler will. I got another take I got to talk about too. Let me get Herbert. I got another take I got to talk about too. It's a better depth of receiver here. Yeah. Is it that time? Let me see what comes back. I don't mind the way this is playing out right now. Yeah. So I think a player, a lot of people, I think a guy that's going to surprise a lot of people. Like I said, Austin Eckler for one of those like guys I'm never drafting again. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. Another player that I am probably going to have to change my tune on here very soon just because of some of the offseason hype is Xavier Worthy. Now, I had him as I thought for sure he would be more like return specialist. They use him in the return game and just deep shots. But it seems like they're finding really creative ways to get him involved in the offense like now. So, and if he's got that kind of speed going up against the defense now, just imagine what another month or two is going to be with the creativity that Andy Reid has. So, I kind of think I was a little lower on Xavier Worthy than I should have been, and I probably should be much closer to ADP than I am right now. Thoughts on Maserati Marv? I think he's a 1,200-yard guy, like at ceiling. I don't really see the same top 10 potential, but I still think he'd be a 1,200-yard guy. I think that's a great season for him. Thoughts on Jalen Waddle? You're probably getting a discount on him, but he's still the number 2 there. Respect, you can admit that. Some creators can't. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fantasy football, and if I told you I got everything right, I'd just be flat out lying. So I get shit wrong, and I don't try to be perfect, nor do I claim to be, but I will say this with the utmost confidence that I provide advice that wins leagues. If you want to win your fantasy league and you don't follow me, you're doing it wrong. So I provide advice that will win your league. You got to make the right decisions. You got to make the right reads and the right starts and sits and trades. But I provide winning advice. That's what I would vouch for myself and say that. I traded Puka for Williams. Shit, that ended up working out for you. If that was Kyron Williams. Jalen Warren or Brooks, I prefer just getting Warren right now. Brooks is kind of far down on my list. Brooks right now is on training camp PUP, and who knows if he's, the expectation that he's going to be ready next month, but who knows what kind of timeline that is, and who knows if it's a split carry thing when he starts the season. So I like the Najee pick. See, I like that. See, there we go, Yeet man. Getting back to the old guys. In a full PPR league, would you rather have Jettas, Chase, or St. Brown? I think it'd be a toss-up between Jettas and St. Brown for me. So I think I'd probably just go Amon-Ra to be safer until we find out the quarterback situation for Minnesota. Rashad White or Jacobs? I like Jacobs more. I'm telling you, these rookies are starting to heat up like they get plugged in either ASAP or second half of the year. That's fine. I'll let everybody else take the rookies. I don't really feed into rookie hype. That's what happens is a lot of unknown. They're kind of a wild card. We've never seen them on the field before. We saw their college production. So it's easy to get hyped about rookies, but we also got to reel that back in. Most rookies aren't elite. Most of them aren't. We get some, right? But people did the same thing last year with JSN. They did the same thing with Quentin Johnson last year. Turned out it was Puka Nacua was the guy, So, and I think these rookies can come in and be productive, but is Marv, Rome, and Malik Neighbors all going to hit, and Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas? There's a high expectation for a lot of these rookies, and it's that's 5 just right off the top rookies that people are like, man, they're going to be elite. Jonathan Brooks is going to be elite. Ray Davis and Bucky Irving are going to come take roles from people, and Blake Corum is going to do the same thing, and Trey Benson. Bro, we do this with all the rookies. Every rookie is going to come in and be a starter, impact on fantasy team, and that's just not the way that football works, everybody says the same thing. That's the hard part, It's we all think our rookies are going to do well. A lot of times they got to show and prove, and it doesn't. A successful season for them isn't always 1,000 yards or 10 touchdowns. Sometimes a successful season is playing the entire season and learning the playbook and becoming a starter on their team by the end of the season. We got to think in real football too, not just what we want for our fantasy teams. I know it's hard to do, but I would say that's one of the things that I think people are doing a little too much of right now, gassing up these rookies. I got to take on your hat. The Reds need to make some trades now. Their World Series window's closing. I ain't mad at that. I like most of your calls. I will never follow you on Najee. Why is Najee? See, if people think about me, think a take about me, they always come up with Najee. That's the one that people say. Najee. How you feel about Jalen McMillan in Tampa? I really like Jalen McMillan in Tampa this year. He's got to win the starting spot. But a guy out of Washington that probably would have went a little bit higher had he not been hurt last season. In a really good scenario if he can get the number 3 spot. Zay was good last year. Zay was decent last year. ADP, what he finishes like the wide receiver 30, wide receiver 28 or something like that. Addison was good for the first half of the year, and then he fell off. Like, the rookies are guys now more than ever. We'll see. You do another mock after this? Yeah, we got time for another mock. I traded Kyron for JT last year. See, I would have had advised that move, and in most years, that's going to pay off. It didn't work out last year. Is Rachaad White going to be as good as last year? I think he just has more risk, right? I think he can be as good in the offense, but Bucky Irving is going to command some work. I'm not overly concerned about it, but it's also a new offense under Liam Cohen. And yeah, I think, that Rams attack typically uses one running back, so I'm not overly worried about it, but there's some risk built in. I'll say that. He could have a good season, but there's also risk that like it could be a split workload. I don't really see it. I'm the 6th pick in the 10th man. Who should be my second round pick between Pacheco and Kyron if they're there? I don't really like either of them in the second round. 6th pick, I think you can do better. If you're asking me between the two, I'll take Kyron. Thoughts on Lloyd and Wright? Exactly. Same thing. Like everybody expects Marshawn Lloyd to just come in and take half the carries away from Josh Jacobs. AJ Dillon's still there. He just re-signed. He looks slimmer. Like, I'm not saying AJ Dillon's going to be great, but like we can't just give Marshawn Lloyd like touches. We can't just be like, here, this rookie's going to come in and take over. I think he's got a lot of work to do in order to be a viable fantasy player. And then Jalen Wright, same thing. You got Achane and you got Raheem Mostert still ahead of him. So I think Jalen Wright could be a guy. It's just a matter of, will he get opportunity? There's going to have to be an injury for those guys to show out. When we're mocking right now, actually. Right now. Demario Douglas worth a shot. I think in a deeper league, you could get him. He just doesn't have a lot of ceiling. Najee 3 times 1,000-yard seasons though in a row. Exactly. Like, is Najee such a bad take when he's been a 1,000-yard guy 3 times in a row? I don't get it. I have worse takes than that. Like, I feel like I have worse takes than Najee, but that's the one everybody remembers. I wonder why. Xavier Worthy is a guy I think is too. Casey going to make sure to use him in crazy ways. I hear you, Gabe. I hear you, and I get it. Like, I like the rookies too. I like the players. I just don't like their ADP. A lot of times their ADP is just too high for me, like you talked about earlier. Yeah, and Rashee Rice. They got a lot of guys there, but I just see the way they're using them right now, and it gives me like, I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill at all, but usage wise, it feels like early how Tyreek it was a game breaker early. It feels like that's what they're trying to do, recreate, with Xavier Worthy. You were right about Bijan last year. I was right about a lot of shit, but yes, appreciate you. Appreciate you noticing and remembering that. A lot of people don't see. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Jahan, it's good to hear that you admit." I always like hearing when I get feedback of like you were right because I always get you were wrong. I get you were wrong a lot, but I love when you guys come in and we're like, you know what? I'll show you respect on something you were right about. Thank you. Was Brooks Sealing in Carolina? I think he's probably like, if he's healthy in the second half of the year, top 15 guy, but he would have to be healthy second half of the year. He would have to be healthy second half of the year. Go Reds. I ain't mad at it. I like the hat. Oh, shit. It's my last pick. Last pick. This last pick? We got one more after this or it's done? Looks like we're done after this. And I'm going to take a chance on Jared Judy. All right. So the draft is done. I'm going to rate these teams, and we're going to get another one started here. I think the running back right is going to outperform all these young rookie running backs. I see. That's what I'm saying. He's got 2 guys ahead of him. That's tough to say. Under the radar running back, Gus Edwards. Wish me luck on getting Evans for Keenan, JSN, and Ford. That's heavy for Evans. Hopefully you can get is that Dynasty? That's heavy for Dynasty. If it's redraft, good job. I'm not reaching on rookies if they slip from usual ADP. Yes, that's where I'm at with it. Breece Hall, Pittman, Mixon, Amon-Ra, half-point PPR. What do you mean? Breece Hall and Pittman are Mixon and Amon-Ra in half-point? I think it's a clean swap. You're doing upside for safety. I think it's a pretty clean swap. How you feel about Ayuk now he's holding out? I'm tearing him down a little bit, but I won't be really worried till August. All right, about to rate these teams real quick. Canales is going to need O-line magic. They try to beef it up a little bit. Jaden Daniels could be a top 5 quarterback. if he's good. If he's bad, he'll be back in top 20. I think he'll be good. All right. Rating these teams real quick, and then we're going to get into more questions. Guys, appreciate everybody who's subbing here. Listen, hey, if you're here for the first time before I rate these teams, make sure to take advantage of the early discount on my draft guide. I posted a link in the Discord. The draft guide is coming out. You can get early pricing. It's only going to be for limited time. The link is in the Discord under promos. Or you could come to the YouTube page. It's pinned. So the draft guide is going to be crazy this year. Last year, it was cool. This year, it's crazy. I got coaching changes in there, playoff schedules, playoff advice, in-season advice, where to draft a quarterback in Superflex and in one quarterback leagues. We got sleepers, busts, fades, team by team, every single team, every fantasy relevant player. You name it. It's in the draft guide. It's in the draft guide. It's crazy. It's going to be crazy, y'all. I'm not lying to y'all. Draft guide is crazy this year. All right, team one. Team one. Ronald, you got Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Blake Corum. Good job at your running backs. Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Cup, Dalton Kincaid, D-Hop, Brian Thomas. And then your quarterbacks are Tua, Aaron Rodgers, and Mayfield. I'm not sure about this team, Ronald. I feel like you reached on some players. Like, I would much rather have like Devontae Adams instead of Wilson there. I think, I think you reached at a couple spots that I don't like right now that I'm looking at. Like Kincaid, I feel like you took him maybe a little too early. I'm going to give this team out of 10. This is a 10-team league. So just remember it's a 10-team league. I like your running backs there with Bijan and Derrick Henry. Concerned a little. I think your quarterbacks are decent enough. I think this team could have been a little bit stronger. Maybe I'm being harsh on it. I'm going to give it a 7-9. The Pacini. What does that mean, bro? Hopefully I'm not saying nothing crazy. Josh Allen and Geno as quarterbacks. Good job. You got Jonathan Taylor, Kamara, Raheem Mostert, Brian Robinson. Good job. Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk. Good job. Trey McBride. Yeah, this team's a little stronger to me. This is like an 8.3. Good job. This is like 8.3. 8.3. Very good job there. Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. Started off strong at quarterback. Let's see how the rest of the team filled out. Puka, Nico, Terry McLaurin, and Keon Coleman. Got some good floor and upside there. Achane, Jonathan Brooks, Jalen Warren, Trey Benson, Chase. You just need two of those backs to pan out. So I get like drafting like that, but I feel like your team is really young. You got Chase Brown, Trey Benson, Brock Bowers, Keon Coleman, Jonathan Brooks, like a lot of the young guys, which is going to make it hard. One of them got to pop off for you. I get this team like a 7-9. 7-9. McCaffrey, Barkley, good job there at the running backs. You got Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott, good job at quarterback. And then Debo, Ridley, Godwin with Pollard, Jason, Worthy, David Njoku, Jacoby Myers, and Curtis Samuel. I think you did a good job blending like some upside with Worthy later on, some floor guys with Jacoby and Curtis Samuel. And then I think you did a really good job at the top there with Debo, Ridley, and Godwin, considering everything else you got. This is a strong team to me. This is like an 8.4. All right, Adam, you got Lamb, Olave, Zay Flowers, Jaden Reed. You got Gibbs and Rashad White with David Montgomery. Love, Jaden Daniels. Good job there with the upside. Jake Ferguson. Nick Chubb and Ezekiel Elliott there on the bench along with Deontay Johnson. This team is good. I think you're missing like a little bit on this team. For whatever reasons, feels like it's just missing a little bit. I don't mind it, but this team is a little subpar compared to the other ones. I'll give this one like an 8. Solid 8. Solid 8. All right, Cody, you got Lamar, Trevor Lawrence. So good job on the quarterbacks there. A.J. Brown, Drake London, Amari Cooper, Malik Neighbors. Good value on him there. J-Mo and Romeo Doubs. And then your running backs are Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, Eckler, Gus Edwards. So good value late at running back. I wish you'd have got one higher upside guy at running back, but I like what you did. Mark Andrews at tight end. This is a solid team. It's like an 8-3. This is a good job. Brown, London, Cooper with upside at Neighbors and J-Mo. That's a good lineup. Tyreek Hill, Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Anthony Richardson, good upside there. James Cook, DeAndre Swift, running backs are in shambles. With Singletary and Zach Moss. I get it. You got DJ Moore as your fourth receiver. Good job. Kittle there. Anthony Richardson, Caleb, and Stafford. So you got two upside guys and a good floor player there. And then George Kittle. I think it's a good team. I would be concerned about your running backs. You'd have to be active throughout the year. I give it 8-2 for foundation, though. Jefferson and Chase, damn, good job. With Pittman, Christian Watson, you got Mixon, Kyron Williams, Zamir White, Javonte. I like the running back. You did a good job running backs there. You got Mixon somehow way late. And then Laporta, Brock Purdy, and Kirk Cousins. Good job at quarterback. Both of those should be top 12 guys when it's all said and done. And then Laporta. So I'll give this team like an 8-2. 8-2, maybe 8-3. 8-2, 8-3. I just don't like the bench as much. Watson and Shakira as your 4th and 5th receiver. I don't mind Javonte there, though. And Jerome Ford. It's an 8-3. Good job. Brees Hall, Travis Etienne, James Conner at running back. And then you loaded up at receiver with Ayuk, DK, Hollywood, Tank Dell, Lad McConkey, Rashee Rice, Brandon Cooks. Quarterbacks are Stroud and Goff with Kelsey at tight end. This is a good team, too. I give this like an 8-2. Like an 8-2. I think running back, if your running backs were a little bit deeper, I'd probably give it a higher score, but I don't mind the 3 you had. And then just loading up a receiver. You'll find another running back. I got Mahomes and Herbert with St. Brown, Evans, Devontae Smith, and Pickens, Josh Jacobs, Stevenson, and Harris with Tajay Spears, Evan Ingram. I kind of like this team. Romo Dunze later. I kind of like this team, but I feel like I could have addressed running back a little bit earlier. I'll give this team like an 8-2. 8-2. How y'all feel? Was I good on the rankings? Was I good on the rankings? When's the draft guide drop? This week. So, very good question here. Before I get into more questions, is the draft guide final, or could those things change in the next month? So things could change in the next month. I will have a second version. If you purchase the first version, you're going to get the update. All the updates that come with the draft guide are in one thing. So if you get a package, if you buy the draft guide, even at early access right now, any update that I do on the draft guide, I'll probably only do one more update. Any update, you'll get that in there too. So only thing that could really change is the rankings, but you're going to have a spreadsheet. Like I put a link to the rankings in there too. So I'll have August rankings in about a couple weeks. You'll get that. The weekly rankings are for Dub Club only, but the monthly rankings, you get that along with the draft guide. I might do another update on the draft guide if there is one. Might. That's if there's any major changes. All right. So good question on that, though. The draft guide is dropping this week. Like I said, early access in the Discord under promos. That's the way to get it right now. That's it right now. Let's see. Going back real quick. All right. I think I answered this one. Jahan, from what you can remember, and honestly, what did you get wrong or right last year? I only do honestly. There's nothing else I do but honestly on here. I have no incentive to lie at all, to be real with y'all. So, like I said, I got those wrong. I talked about it earlier. I got Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, fading them right. I said to fade Travis Etienne. I got that wrong. I think I had St. Brown rated like kind of lower than I should have, and he finishes the top 5 guy at wide receiver. I don't know, man. A lot of it's due to injury too. Like I can say if I got to take wrong or right because of injury. One of my major misses was saying Dalvin Cook was going to be a factor on the Jets. I had him as like a top 20, 25 back. So that was a big miss for me. Like saying Dalvin Cook would be up there, but I rebounded from that in all my leagues. I'm trying to think of anything I just like blatantly missed on. Outside, that was probably my worst. Just like I missed on that guy, Dalvin Cook, and then somebody that I said was going to be good and just was not good. I don't know, but I was like, I faded Austin Eckler. I said Cooper Kupp. I thought he was my favorite player, and he got hurt. But like, are you guys going to judge me off getting hurt? So I don't know what you count as misses. Who do you like in the 104? Bijan Robinson. 103, Bijan Robinson. If y'all can get him, go get him. Predict Texans record. I got them like 9-8, 10-7. I can't remember exactly what it was. 9-8, 10-7. Panthers record prediction. I said what I say earlier, 7-10, 6-11, somewhere around there.